Hey guys, this is Dr. Mike. Today I'm going to be talking about the book Grit by Angela Duckworth. Here's the book Grit. Now, what I like about this book and what I want to encourage you to do is really give everybody that you know a copy of this book if you can. Or if you are on a work team, if you are in a school, whatever your occupation is, this book is an amazing book and it's a book that really everyone needs to read. Now, the reason why I say that is because this book is another book similar to Peak, which was written by K. Anders Ericsson, which really focuses on how to achieve optimal performance. It doesn't specifically say that, but what it focuses on is talent development and the ability to achieve your goals. Now, grit is defined as perseverance and passion for a long-term goal. So really the focus of this book is on how you can achieve the goals that you have that are far out or far away that may not seem like you're going to be able to get them or achieve them in a month or 2 months. It's really a focus on striving for the long-term goals that you have. And in order to achieve a long-term goal, you have to have long-term focus as well as the ability to really assess your progress over short-term wins. And Angelo Duckworth talks about that. Now, what I think the book really is trying to help us to understand is that the idea that talent, innate talent, giftedness, and really the ability to achieve greatness has nothing to do with your genetic makeup. It has nothing to do with your background. In fact, what it really focuses on is learning how to harness the potentials that are within you and utilize them and develop them over time so that you can achieve those long-term goals. Because ultimately, anyone that has achieved a high level of expertise in any field has done one thing very well, and that is they've learned to persevere through the hard times when they're learning their craft, and they've also had the passion to continue to go at it long after everybody else has quit. And that's really what Angela Duckworth is getting at. Now, she cites the work of Sir Francis Galton, and he really was the one that began looking at research on high achievement. Maslow looked at it as well with this hierarchy of needs, but Galton was really the first one. And some of the things that he identified were that individuals that are high achievers have this unusual ability. You know, they have just an ability that's not like the normal or average person. They also have a zeal for the things that they're doing, and they're just really hard workers. But the other thing that he believed was that they just had a talent that, was mystical. It was something that you really couldn't put your finger on. But the reality is that it isn't something mystical. It isn't even something that you're just born with. We all are born with potentials, and some of us maybe have higher levels of development. But the reality is, practice is a key to improving performance, and staying with something for a long time is another key. So if you look at the research of K. Anders Ericsson, which she references, he talks about the importance of deliberate practice. And what you'll find out is that individuals that seem to be just naturally gifted, they've done way more work. They've practiced longer. They've worked harder in maybe the same time period that you've worked. They put more time in, so they really did the work. So they came to work and did the work. And that's really the difference. So her book really talks about that. Now, one of the things I think that's really, really important to think about is the fact that in her work, she talks about how it's important to experience failure in your youth, or really to experience failure at some point in your life. And she gives the example of these rats that were going through electrical currents when they were babies. And when they were first shocked, they were shocked by these electrical currents, and it made them freeze up. They got stuck as they were trying to run through a maze. Now, when these rats got older, they would get shocked, but it wouldn't even make a difference. They would still continue to run through this maze. Now, the point is that, it doesn't matter what you're going through, it's the ability to keep going even after you've experienced a setback. And that's really what she was alluding to. Sometimes we have this perfectionist idea about life and about greatness and about talent. And those that have such a perfectionist attitude or mindset are the ones that want to be so perfect that they can't accept failure. But it is through failure that we learn how to succeed. And that's really what Angela Duckworth is getting at when she talks about grit. Grit is all about persevering. It's all about having passion or love that's so deep for something that you're willing to struggle, if that's what it takes, to learn it. And I like the other point that she makes. She talks about doing little things well. And that's really what practice is. No matter what we do, based off the work of Thomas Sterner, we are practicing every day. And that's really what you need to focus your mind on. The idea that no matter what you're doing, you're practicing. And it's okay to fail in practice. Because at the end of the day, practice over time will lead to you developing perfect habits. And really, that's what wins are. It's small efforts that combine over time to create great wins. So I think you should take the time, read the book, and tell somebody else about the book. And if you've got a review, I'd love to hear about it. But in any event, please read the book.